So, the iPhone 12 mini. Been putting it through its paces today through one of my SIM cards in there. Took it out and about this morning when I went to drop the wife to work. Went to the store, I got some footage of what happened in the store. Just going on and on randomly. I have to say, I like how the phone feels. I know they always have that cliche feels good in the hand, but I'm so used to much larger phones that something this small actually does feel very welcome. Now, you guys know I'm not a big iPhone fan, but they do have something very, at least to me, very special here. The size of it, from what I understand, the power of it, I haven't pushed it beyond regular use, but if it can hold true to the claims of the what is it, the M14 or what is it? No, whatever the new chip is, I don't remember the name of it. But if it can hold true to the claims of the new chip that is installed in these devices, meaning it's a iPhone 12 with all of the power that comes with it, only in a much smaller package, this will be a very interesting device to use on the daily. But right off the bat, there is one flaw, one issue that many might have. So here's my home screen. As you guys can see, I took my time just to set this thing up as close to an Android phone as possible. Because having that grid of apps all over the place is just ugly and bothersome. So I took my time. I went through the apps that I had. I didn't put anything particular on the device that would push it. So there's no editing apps. There's nothing like that to really push this chipset. It's all pretty much social media and entertainment. My Spotify, Kindle, Nook. I like to read. I love my music. But if you look at this, I'm down to 23%, and there's my screen time. These numbers. That's how much I've used these apps. But what I get from this is this phone has barely been used. It's currently 3:03. I took this phone off the charger at 6:30 a.m. and for the past hour and a half, it's pretty much been in my pocket. Ooh, huge update. You gotta check out that. All right. For the past hour, so since around 2, it's been in my pocket. Actually, maybe around 1:30. So, hour and a half. But my regular use from that 6:30 when I took the phone off the charger to go drop my wife to work, and with my outings and coming home and taking the time to set this up, just downloading apps, moving apps around, it murdered this battery. 23%. Now, what I did with the phone, I don't consider a power use at all. It really was to take a few pictures, made a FaceTime call or two, and download and put the apps together how I want them, and pretty much, and set up the phone. That's it. And that easy use is what I consider easy use took away damn near 80% of this phone's battery. Now, it's been at 23% since, like I said, around 1:30. So the standby time on this device is actually pretty good. It hasn't moved in an hour and a half. But the fact that it got there in the first place with such average use is reason for concern if you plan on using an iPhone mini as your daily device. Me personally, not really a big concern, because you guys know I have more than one device. This could be with me one day and not see the light of day again for a week or two. It's just the way I personally do things. But if this is your main device, expect to charge this thing regularly, and that's just with doing the basics. Now, to charge the phone because of the bad battery life is an issue, especially if you're out and about, because the phone is so small that, let's say you have a charger like this here, my Samsung fast charging device, the coils themselves, get rid of that, don't actually line up with the fast charging plate, at least not when it's angled to actually charge the phone. So that's something to consider when you're getting these smaller device. What I did was, me personally, I have the magnetic USB-C cable with the detachable heads. So I did put one in here because I have nowhere else to put a lightning device. Look at that, down to 20%. So in the short time of this video, what was it, 8 minutes, it has dropped 3%. Wow. So see, standby mode, great, but once you start to do anything, oh my bad, it dropped 2%. When you start to do anything, it just depletes so rapidly. Anyway, like I was saying, I have nowhere else to put a lightning attachment for the wire, so I did throw it in here, and I have the cord over here, so it does make it very easy to just snap on. So mag safe, whatever, I got mag cable. So just note that you will need to charge this phone a lot if you use it as your daily driver. At least halfway through your day, you're going to need a top-up, because the battery life, as you saw, just not doing much of anything at all, your power will drain rapidly. I mean, perhaps yes, the downloading of the apps did hit it really hard. And then let's see, 12 a.m. Yeah, that's when I started to mess with it, and you can see the spikes there where I was doing the downloading and the setting up. It just really hit me that, like, wow, this thing really does not have the best battery use when it's actually being used. Again, the standby time is actually really good, because that battery percentage has not moved in an hour and a half or so. So impressive work there. And I guess I understand about the rest simply because it's a small phone. Small phones have small batteries. But even some of my other small phones, though not as small as this, have better battery life. So I don't know what this phone is doing. I don't know if there's something I can turn on. Like, I'm not very proficient with iOS. Maybe there is a battery saver or smart battery use, so it knows to stop the drainage at certain times and what have you. But so far that's the only, aside from being an iOS device in itself and its lack of customization. But as far as use, that's my only real concern, is the battery itself. Everything else, as far as iPhones go, is fine. It works like any other iPhone. The camera, I did take it to my brother. He took a quick look at it. He is an iPhone aficionado. He compared it to his E11. He showed me some differences with that camera and this. Even he at least preferred the size of the Mini to his 11. And I never considered the 11 to be very big, but it's that usability, that reach ability of the device. For the fact that you can actually get to all corners of the phone relatively easy. It is really and truly a one-handed device. The only other device I had like this was probably the Pixel 3, and I thought the Pixel 3 was small until I put it side by side with this. This device, especially if you set up your apps and your widgets correctly, you really can get to anything on your screen with one thumb. And that is refreshing, especially in the world where you have 7-inch screens and dual screens and foldable screens. Not that I have anything against those. I love my Duo, I love my Fold, but there's just something very unique to having such a small screen, something simplistic. Like I said, refreshing to having a simple device. Now, many might say, oh, well, the iPhone 12 isn't a simple device. Well, I say to each their own. To me, simple device for simple use and easy use. Yeah, so I like it much more than any other iPhone I have used. And most of that is due to the phone size, not due to the new chipset. I still can't remember what chipset it is. I really can't remember that. And not because of the chipset, not because of the supposedly amazing camera, none of that. It's iOS 14 itself, because I can finally get rid of that terrible grid, to an extent anyway, and just the size. I like the size of the phone. For a everyday device, maybe not unless you have that charger with you, but it's a good device. With that said, this is NG, the Neon X, and the iPhone 12 mini. This is what I'm into.